Hi, my name is Haley, and welcome to the new Needles and Bark Knitting Podcast. My name is Haley, and I am a knitter and a maker living on the east coast of Virginia. I learned how to knit when I was 9 or 10 years old. I went up to my grandma's one summer. My great grandmother lived in Florida, but would spend all summer with my grandma. And my great grandma taught me how to knit. I had this fun pastel rainbow yarn. I can still picture it exactly. And I made these two rectangles, called them blankets for my American Girl doll, Felicity, and then promptly put it down and never knit it again. Fast forward though, in 2019, I picked up embroidery. Might have been before 2019, but I picked up embroidery, which is definitely the gateway drug to fiber arts. Picked up embroidery, started weaving, started to crochet, and then from there, I was like, you know what? I really feel like it's got to be knitting. I made a crochet sweater and absolutely loved it, but the fit just wasn't what I wanted. And I was like, it's got to be the knit fabric. Got to be the knit fabric. I also sew a lot. I sewed all throughout college. I have made a couple of clothes. I handmade all of my Christmas presents last year, and I'm hoping to do the same again this year. So most of what I'm going to talk about on the podcast is knitting, but you may see one or two other makes if I'm feeling particularly excited or proud of them. So with all that said, I'm so excited you've decided to spend the next little bit of your day with me. Grab your drink, grab your project, and let's settle in. I'll start with what I am wearing. I am wearing my ROS Kerchief by Alicia Plummer. I was lucky enough to test knit this, but the test knit occurred over the summertime. And so I've just now recently been able to start wearing it, and I am obsessed. I absolutely love it. Such an easy, quick way to add knitting to my outfit. I did use smaller needles than it called for, so I think her pattern calls for 3.25 millimeter needles, and I used 2.75. I held this fingering weight double, and I just needed a little bit smaller. This is Avalon Springs Pendragon Fingering. And like I said, I held it double. The green is Guinevere's Crown, and I don't actually know what the brown is, but it is still Avalon Springs Pendragon Fingering. I went to Maryland Sheep and Wool in 2024, picked this colorway out. I got 2 skeins of it, and I made a rib to your measure tank. I added a square to my Sweet Shop blanket, and then I made this out of it, so I used every last inch of it. It is the best green. I'm obsessed. I'm probably going to have to buy more next Maryland Sheep and Wool. But my bestie, who came to Maryland Sheep and Wool with me, had gotten this brown skein and was generous enough to let me use it to finish off this test knit. So that's what I'm wearing today. Let's hop into finished objects. I do have one, and it's technically finished, but also technically unfinished. I have yet to block it. But this is my Manhattan hat. I guess more accurately, it's my husband's Manhattan hat. But this is a pattern by Tori Yu, Tori Knits NYC. I made this. This is the adult large. I used 3.75 millimeter needles, which is what the pattern calls for. And I used Studio Donegal, soft Donegal to make this. So, get it. Oh, the tweed is incredible. It's so stunning. We went to Ireland last summer, and while I was there, I picked up quite a few skeins of this Studio Donegal, soft Donegal, with the intention of making hats. My sister is not a knitter. I bought her a blue skein. My brother is a knitter. I bought him a red skein. I bought Logan this black skein, my husband, and then bought myself yellow, and you'll see that coming up. And I will finish talking more about the matchiness of it when I get to the work in progress. But for now, this is my finished object. So like I said, this is the adult large. Is it? It might be the adult medium. I'll put up here if I'm getting the sizes incorrect, because I started this back in August. Yes, back in August, and I just finished it this past week. However, more accurately, I started it last October, like October 2024. But I immediately bailed on it because it's black yarn, and I did not want to be knitting with black yarn. I just let it sit for a year, pulled it back out, cast it on, and this is why I think I actually made the adult medium, because I cast it on the largest size. My husband loves a loosey goosey beanie. He loves slouchy. He loves the big fit. He loves to like be able to pull it, and I don't know. So I cast it on for the adult large, but then this yarn is more like an Aran weight than a worsted. It's just like a little bit too thick. It's not thick enough for me to use the bulky weight version of the pattern, but it is slightly too thick for what the pattern is. I think I made it like 5 inches of progress. I think I was like up to here. And then it was comically large. Like comically large. So I ripped it out, started back for the adult medium. Again, I'll put it here, or I will have put it here if I am incorrect with my verbal words. But I'm excited. It fits beautifully. And I just think it's so cute. I love the way the top sticks up. I've never been a kind of girl. I'm always like a fitted beanie person, but like I have a mirror set up and looking at myself in the mirror, it's so cute. So yeah, brand new finished. I think I will block this as soon as I'm finished filming this podcast, and then it will actually be done and my husband can wear it just as the weather is getting like super duper chilly. That's exciting. This is my one and only finished object for this podcast though. So with that, we are going to transition into works in progress. I have a handful of works in progress to show you. I'm going to start with one that I haven't been actively working on as much, and then move into ones that I'm like actually working on actively. So this first one I have here, I'm so excited about it. It is beautiful. Can't even see it. It's too scrunched up on the needles. This is what I am calling my ephemeral shawl. It is actually the Melting Marl shawl by Stephen West. And I'm using ZZ Textiles, her classic DK, but in the ephemeral colorway collection. So she originally released that as a like monthly subscription. And so I got that monthly subscription. It was not billed as a fade, but I think it looks really good as one. Let me see. Yeah, so it was not billed as a fade. So these are not in the order they were sent to me in, but they are beautiful. This is going to be the next color I'm starting. And I am just so excited. I only have a handful of colors left. I want to say I have 7 in the pattern or in the shawl right now. 7 including that one I just showed you. And I am not using all 12 colors because the way the fade like actually knits up is different than the way the fade looks in skein form, and so I've pulled a couple out that didn't actually work the way I thought they would. So I might only have 3 more colors to go, which is exciting. I'm at the point in the shawl where each row is like 200 stitches or something. So it's just the slog. It's just a slog. This is typically my nighttime, like bedtime knitting project. I tend to like go watch knitting podcasts or TV shows in bed for an hour or so before I go to sleep. And this, for most of the year, was my bedtime project. I started this on February 1st of this year. But we're entering gift knitting season, as you will see with my next works in progress. And so this has kind of gotten put on the back burner. I was hoping that I could trick my little lizard brain into working on this more by showing it off on the podcast. So that's what we're doing. But isn't it so beautiful? Let me tell you the colors. So starting from the top here, we have quiet into false spring, into atmosphere, into fluorescence, into barefoot, into first frost, and then this one is called paused. It's just so beautiful. I had never used these textiles before, and her colorway, it's so beautiful. I'm obsessed. And the squish on this is going to be amazing. But what I have learned over the course of my knitting career is that shawls take me a heck of a long time, particularly like full shawls and not just a little kerchief. I just hit that 200 stitch point. I cannot make myself work on it. So that was my ephemeral shawl. Let's move on to my next works in progress, which are some gift knits. So, disclaimer, if you are a family member or if you are somebody in my life who would receive a Christmas present from me, please fast forward. This is not for you, okay? I have two works in progress that I'm going to kind of talk about simultaneously because they are the same sock. This is the Camp Waffle socks by Hannah Park. I am making this blue pair for my husband and this green pair for my dad. So Logan's Loverboys is a size 3. My dad's is a size 4. And my dad's this is the largest sock I have ever knitted. Like, my dad has freaking huge feet. He wears a size 14. Logan wears a 12. So on Logan's, I'm on the toe of the second sock. So I should say that. So on Logan's, I've already finished one sock. I started these on September 14th, so they've had some time. But yeah, so on Logan's, I've already finished one. Then I'm on the toe on this one. But then on my dad's, even though I've knit, gosh, it's a big freaking sock. So both of these I am doing the needle size and the recommended yarn from the pattern. So that is 2.25 millimeter needles and Patton's Croy FX socks. So my dad's, this green is mossy colors, whereas this blue, which is so pretty, is deep sea colors. The one that she used in the pattern was like a full gradient. So this is just kind of like repeating color blocks. Hers was like a full foot gradient. And she got this Patton's Croy Sock FX. So I'm not sure. I don't know. I have plans in theory to make a couple more pairs of these for Christmas. We'll see. We're getting kind of close. And so maybe one of those will knit up more like what I was expecting. And this one is more, I don't know, you can still see it's very much like a repeating, not a gradient. I don't know. But I'm really excited. Logan almost always gets a pair of socks for me for Christmas. One year, bless his heart, one year I only gave him one sock. Like, I did not finish the pair before Christmas, so I just gave him one. and I still have yet to make him the second sock. He's such a trooper. But so I'm excited about these because it's the Patton's Croy, and so it's more like a sport weight than it is a fingering weight. I just feel like these are going to be so cozy. And I like to keep our house pretty cold. So Logan, he will be so excited to have these chunky wool socks. My dad is a sock snob. So I'm actually a little nervous about gifting him a pair of socks. He's going to be grateful no matter what. I just know that internally he has such high sock standards that I'm hoping, and that's why I picked the Pattons because it is like a woolly wool. I know Dad likes that, and I think it'll hold up better because of that. I don't know. We'll see. But so on Dad's, because his feet are so freaking big, I had to buy 3 balls of this, whereas for Logan, I only needed 2. I'm only gonna have like, I don't know, 5 grams left of it, but Dad, I had to buy 3 balls, 150 grams of sock yarn for his big old feet. But I'm excited. I've knit my dad a hat before, and I have never made him anything else. So I'm excited to gift socks to somebody other than my husband and just see how that goes. You can see on here, my preferred sock knitting method is 9-inch circulars. This was kind of a pain, so I did their shadow wrap heel, and I did do the shadow wrap heel on the 9-inch circulars, but I was on the go while I was knitting this. We were in Tennessee a couple weeks ago, and I was knitting the heel while we were like out and about and doing stuff. And because there's so many stitches for Dad's size, it doesn't stay on the 9-inch circulars that well. Like it's not very happy. It too much, too many stitches for 9 inches. And so it kept falling off, and I kept having to redo the heel because it would fall off, and it was, of course, always at the double and triple stitches. So I finally, at the last one, I was able to like fix it because the same mistake had happened enough times that I was able to fix it. But whew, it was a pain. I'm glad the heel is done. Just chugging along on the foot. We'll see. My next work in progress is another Manhattan hat. This one is yellow though. Oh, this yarn is so pretty. It's so pretty. Again, to recap, I went to Ireland 2 years ago, got a bunch of yarn for me, my siblings, and my husband, and currently making Manhattan hats for everybody. Kind of. So my sister, I bought her the blue yarn. Because she's not a knitter, I went ahead and last year made her a Manhattan hat out of that yarn. It kind of started the craze. This yarn in that pattern just works so well. It's beautiful. Made Olivia the blue hat. Everybody loved it. So because Sam is a knitter, I did not make him his hat. I just went ahead and gifted him the red skein. Red is my brother's color through and through. So gifted him the skein. Then we were talking about how fun it would be to be all matchy-matchy. So Sam knitted a hat. His is not 1x1 for the brim. So this is all 1x1 rib the whole way up. I'm pretty sure the brim is stockinette and double folded. He like Frankensteined the Oslo with the Manhattan. So it's like Oslo thick stockinette, and then the decreases in the crown shaping are all this from the Manhattan hat. So he'll have that same like square look at the top. So his is red, made Logan this black one, and then now I'm making yellow. And I also just think it's really cute that me and my siblings will be the primary colors. I don't know. I love it. We love to match. So yeah, so I just started this, like just Monday, this past Monday. And I thankfully had a meeting at work this week, so I got a lot of knitting done during the meeting. But I'm just making some progress. The come on. The tweed flecks in this are so pretty. The tweed flecks the tweed flecks in this are so fun. And it very much turns this into a popcorn knitting project where I'm just like, I can't wait to see what the next color of tweed is. Or, ooh, look at how pretty that one was. And it just like makes it so you want to keep knitting on it. Very excited to have this. So just in case I can't remember if I said it or not, Manhattan Hat by Tori Yu, Tori Knits NYC. For me, I am making the adult small, and I am using 3.75 millimeter needles. And then again, this is Studio Donegal Soft Donegal. It's just so pretty. And my last but not least work in progress is yet another Tori Yu pattern. It's kind of funny looking at everything I've been working on recently. It's a lot of Tori Yu. She's a good pattern writer. What can I say? This is my Courage Henley. She's a little wrinkly because she's been shoved in a project bag and pulled out and shoved back in, but oh, I'm so excited. So I have done all of the like finishing work. It doesn't look like it, but the ends are all woven in. And then I've all but finished a sleeve. I have my ball of yarn shoved in there because what I need to do next is the tubular bind off. And I just didn't want to commit to that yet. So tubular bind off. And then I've already picked up all my stitches for the second sleeve. The yarn is running away from me. But I've already picked up all my stitches for this sleeve. And so I'm so close. I'm so close. I've never felt like I've been on Sleeve Island before until this project. Granted, I haven't made that many sweaters. Two, and this is my third. But with the first one, I picked up and did the sleeves before I finished the body, which was great because the sleeves were finished, but it sucked to go from like 40 stitches for the cuff to 200 and something stitches for the body. Like that, mentally, that was hard. So, second sweater, finished the whole body and then picked up the sleeves. But because my second sweater was a striped sweater, so Sleeve Island I didn't feel like I was on it because every 8 rows I gotta change things up. I don't know. So this one it surprised me how rough Sleeve Island is. For context, I started this sweater October of 2024 and we are now in November of 2025. Whoops. I've, I've been working on lots of little things instead of big things, but not that I need to make excuses for not working on a sweater. But I do want this to be done. It's cute. I would love for it to be finished by Thanksgiving. And I really, like, that's possible, right? This is not that much knitting. It's like 4 hours, 4.5 hours, maybe. Maybe. I'm so close. But I just cannot bring myself to work on this project. And then I'm telling myself it's fine because I'm doing gift knitting projects instead. But I would like to knit a sweater in the year 2025. And this is looking like my only hope of doing that. So anyway, so this is my Courage Henley. I am making the size 4. I am using size 4.5 millimeter needles, which is the size Tori uses in the pattern. And I am just excited. This is Cascade 220 Superwash in the colorway Walnut Heather. I bought this from Little Knits, that like online warehouse. So I got this for such a good deal, but I am going to end up with for sure like 2 full skeins left over, which is kind of annoying. But it's really pretty. I like this color brown. It's more of a cool toned brown than like this is a very warm brown, and then you can kind of see the difference there. Or can you? I don't know. Maybe I'm just making it up because I've had this 8 inches from my face for a year. So it's more of a cool tone brown than I'm used to, but I'm into it, and I feel like it's growing on me. I have the cutest brass buttons for the collar once that's all finished up. And I'm just excited to block this. I think the blocking is really going to make the shape relax and just fit so much better. It's a saddle shoulder construction, which I had never done before. I just think it's so pretty. I'm so excited to have it. And truly, Tori does write an excellent pattern, if not exemplified by just the sheer amount of projects of hers I'm working on. But this is so good. And I am like a intermediate knitter, probably more like advanced beginner in actuality, but mindset intermediate. And the fact that I was able to do this this Henley finishing, I don't know, it's kind of blowing my mind. And it just looks so good. I'm so excited to wear it. Those are all of my works in progress. I do have 2 acquisitions, 3, one yarn and one non-yarn. Um, and I try not to buy too much yarn. My stash is out of control. It's a video for another day. But I do have 2 recent ones because now that the weather is getting colder, we were talking about my husband needs colors, like his work colors of beanies and things to be able to wear to work events. So got him some green and yellow yarn from Kelbourne Woolens. Hide my face so that way it'll focus on it. So pretty. So this is Kelbourne Woolens Scout, which is 100% wool, 274 yards per 100 grams. This one is Moss Heather. And then this one is, it's cute, isn't it? Yeah, Sunflower Heather. I do have a hat pattern picked out. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll put a picture right here to stripe these together in kind of a fun modern way and not like, I don't know, just kind of change things up and do some interesting color work. And as much as I love Tori's patterns, not make another Manhattan hat. I'm excited to change things up. So that's my first acquisition. Just 2 little skeins of yarn to make a hat for Logan. My second one is a wedding present. My husband and I just celebrated our 5th wedding anniversary, and we do the like themed gifts for each year. So sometimes we do the modern, sometimes we do the traditional. It just kind of depends on what is the better gift for that year. But this year's was wood, and look, he got me this stunning yarn bowl. I'm so excited. It's so nice. I just like stick it in the shelf on my coffee table, and then the yarn feeds through and I'm able to just knit. And I'm so excited. And I thought that was just such a fun, thoughtful anniversary gift for the wood theme. So, but yeah, thank you so much for sitting with me and spending the last little bit of your day with me. If you enjoyed this, it would mean a lot to me if you could like and subscribe, and I will see you again for another one. Thank you so much. Bye.